I'm going to show you how to set the aperture, or f-stop, using the Nikon D3200. Okay, so you're filming and you're in live view and you change location, maybe you go outside or you just go into another room. You're going to have to check it every single time to make sure that you're letting the correct amount of light in and that your shot is correctly lit. Okay, so to do this, you need to come out of live view and you'll see your F number there. I'm currently on f5.6. To adjust this to say, make it darker if you go outside, you're going to want to make sure that you're still on the info screen. You're going to want to hold down this plus and minus button, which is also the, as you can see, that's a little icon of an iris there, which is a little shutter that you can see open and close, which is inside your lens. So you press and hold that down while you're on the info screen, press and hold it, and then using the scroller here, you can scroll up and you can scroll down. As simple as that. It'll only go, the iris will only open to f3.5, which is letting as much light in as possible. You can't go any wider than that to let more light in, unfortunately. It's just the way the lens is made. So if you're going outside, for example, and it's bright, you're going to want to go high. So you go up to maybe f16, f18, judging on how bright it is outside. Obviously, there's only one way to check to see how bright and how much light your camera's letting in, is by going back to live view and seeing. So obviously I'm inside, so that has made that very dark now. You can just about make out some things over on the other side of the room and some of the light patches on the table, but other than that, that's made it very dark. So, but for outside, it'll have probably made it a lot better. But again, you have to check and see. So again, you go off live view for inside. So I hold down my iris aperture button and I scroll back down to f3.5 because I'm inside, and f3.5 is generally the best because even in a lit room, it probably won't be too light that you'd want to be any higher than f3.5. You will also notice that when you zoom in, or zoom out, mainly when you zoom in, you'll notice you'll lose F numbers and it'll go, when fully zoomed in, you'll drop down to f5.6. It's just the way the lens is built. You can't adjust that, and you can't try and change it to f3.5 because it won't let you. See, I can't scroll down any lower, I can only scroll higher. So I can't get to f3.5 when I'm fully zoomed in. So if it's not very bright, obviously if you're outside, won't matter at all, because it'll more than likely be very bright due to natural sunlight. But inside, in a dark room or a not very well lit room, you'll be much better off just keeping wide, completely zoomed out, and just naturally moving closer to your subject. That'll help be able to keep as much light coming into the camera as possible. Always, when you enter a new room or go outside, always adjust your f-stop first before you even touch ISO. I'm going to cover ISO in another video, but yeah, that's how you change aperture. So always do that before you start shooting, just to make sure your shot is correctly lit. And that's it.